Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I am Haroon Rashid, and in this video I am going to explain you how you can convert from a denary to binary number. Usually when we are given a denary number to convert into binary number, we have two different methods to work on. But before we talk about these two methods, let's talk about what is a denary number. A denary number is a number which has base 10, and a binary number is a number which has base 2. So generally when a number is written, for example 170, so this number without having any base, it reflects that this number is actually a denary number. So there are different types of number systems available. That's why it is important to mention the base of a number when we are representing. For example, if we have a number 110, this 110, if we do not mention what is its base, it will look like that it's a denary number. However, it can be a binary number. So in order to classify, or in order to ensure that we are dealing with the correct number system, we have to actually place a bracket around it, and we put a small subscript number which reflects the base. So if the base is 2, if let's say this is a binary number, so we have to mention here 2. But here in Google Sheets you are not able to see this in the small font, because this is one of the limited features of Google Sheets, where I cannot make it into the subscript. So it's not straightforward in Google Sheets. So that's why I am adding here underscore. So if you see underscore mean that I am referring to a subscript. Okay, and likewise if let's say this number is in the base 10, so I have to mention here 170, and then my base has to be written in the subscript form. Now if somebody look at this number, so 170 is actually a denary number and 110 is a binary number. So I hope this is clear to you, what is actually a binary number and what is actually a denary number. Okay, so before we move further, now I would like to explain that there are two different kinds of method available for us to convert our denary number to a binary number. So the first method is called subtraction method or place value method. This is similar to the method the beginning process is similar to the method that where we convert from binary to denary number. So the table, how we draw the table, this is similar to that method. The second method is a division method, divide by 2 method. So in this method we actually divide the number by 2. Okay, so these two things, these two methods that we will be talked in this video, but this is the first part of the video, so here I will be only explaining you the subtraction method, and in the part 2 of this video you will see how the denary to binary conversion happen for using the division method. So using the subtraction method, let's understand what is a subtraction method. For example, we are given a question. So let's suppose we have, so we are given a number 100, say we are given a number 129, which has a base 10, of course, because this is a denary number. So this is the number that we need to convert into binary. So the method is very simple and straightforward when we are using the subtraction method or place value method. So the first thing we have to do is we have to draw a table which will be covering 4 rows and 8 columns. So this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So these are 8 columns and 4 rows. So I'm going to draw a table. Okay, and after that I'm going to write a few information in yellow background color. So this is just a information. It's not a must that you have to write it when you are solving a question. So this is just for your guidance, okay, so that you get aware of what is this. So if you remember, when we were converting binary to denary, you remember that the last the at the right hand side, the first and the foremost cell is actually representing the least significant bit that we are labeling as LSB, and on the other hand side it is called MSB, most significant bit. And always we write our place values starting from 1, and then we multiply this with 2, and whatever value we get we write in the next cell. So here we got 2, we multiply 2 again with 2, here we get 4, we multiply 4 with 2, we get here 8, we multiply 8 with 2, we get 16, multiply with 2, we get 32, then multiply with 2, we get 64, and then we get finally 128. Now these values, you might be wondering that why we have the values only until 128. Okay, we are dealing here with 8 bit of data. Okay, 8 bits of data or 1 byte of data. So in 8 bits it starts from 1, and if you count 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, we have 8 columns, because we are going to convert this number 129 into 8 bits of data or 1 byte. So because we also know that computer only processes the data in the form of bytes, so 1 byte is actually generated at once, so whenever a key is pressed at the keyboard. Now when we are filling up this table, what are the things? So the first row is actually place value, or in short I can say PV, place value. So we write the place values over here. Then in the second second row, here we actually deal with our denary number. So the calculation will happen over here. Denary number, which is given in this case, is 129 minus the place value. So I'm writing here PV. Okay, so this is how we are going to work over here in this cell. Make sure you use the denary number minus PV. Do not do it the opposite way. If you do it the opposite way, the answer is going to be different, and you are actually not going to get the exact answer or the correct answer which you are supposed to do by this conversion. Okay, so let's do it. Now the number given to us is 129. So we minus this 129 denary number from the given place value, that is 128 in this cell. The answer we get is actually 1. That's a positive 1. Now here in this column, in this row, we are going to write yes or no in the whole row. Okay, whenever we are doing the calculation, so we need to understand when we have to write yes and when we have to write no. If let's suppose we are getting a positive answer when we are minusing denary minus PV, so the result is positive number, we will always write here yes. But if let's suppose we got the answer negative, if we get the negative answer, we are going to write no. And also remember, whenever we get 0, 0 is a non-negative number. So when we get 0, we will write yes. We will not write no. Okay, so here in our case, denary number minus place value equal to, we got the answer 1. So we have written here yes, and then here we are going to write 1. So if you get yes, you will write here 1. So I can write here, this is my binary binary number. Okay, so whenever, remember, whenever you get yes, you have to write 1. If you get the no, then we have to write 0. Okay, now what we need to do in the next cell, under the place value of 64, we have to look back in the previous column what was our answer after calculation of Denary minus PV. If it is a negative number, we will ignore this and we will look at the number before that until we find the positive column, the column which had the answer positive. So now in our case we are lucky here, we got 1 already, so we are going to use this number. So now we will not use 129, we are going to use this smaller number which is after the Denary minus PV calculation. So we will do here 1 minus 64, as usual we will minus the Denary number. Now here we are going to get the answer in negative, which is negative 63. So as I explained earlier, we are going to write here no, and we will write here 0. So moving to the third column, now my place value is 32. Over here I have to write my Denary number. If I look at the column before this, my Denary number answer is 63, but in negative. So I am going to ignore this number and I'm going to pick up the number before, which was 1. So positive 1. So 1 minus 32. Again I get the answer in negative, negative 31. I'm going to write no and I'm going to write 0. Moving forward, again I will do the same thing looking at the number in the previous column. So here we had negative, so I have to take the earliest positive number, which was 1. So 1 minus 16 is equal to negative 15, and here I get no, here I get 0. Again 1 minus 8, I will get negative 7. So I'm going to write again no and 0. So I have to ignore the negative numbers until I get a positive number. So 1 minus 4, I get here negative 3. So I'm going to write no and I'm going to write 0 as binary. Again 1 minus 2 is equal to negative 1. So same, no and 0. Now here I'm going to write 1 minus 1. So the answer is going to be 0. As I mentioned earlier, 0 is a non-negative number. So if non-negative number, I'm going to write here yes, and I will write here 1. Now I have filled up the whole table. Now it's the time for me to read what is actually my this binary number. So we were given this number 129 in Denary. Okay, so we have to calculate this to binary. So what we have found out here, we will start to read the number from left side. Remember, we will go from left to right. So the directions are quite important in this conversion. Whichever method you are doing, they have different sets of directions to write. So here in subtraction method, it's from left to right. So I'm going to write here 1 0 0 0 0 0 0 1 bracket close, and I'm going to write base 2, which will reflect that this is my binary number. Now you might be wondering that why I'm talking about direction. Even if I start from this side, I'm going to get the same number. This is just coincidentally because the number which is given to us has the answer in this way. Not necessarily the other Denary numbers answer will be coming in the similar pattern. So remember, we will start to write the binary number from MSB side towards LSB side. Okay, not the opposite side. So this is the answer, and your question is done. So we have converted our Denary into binary. Now for your practice, I am going to do one more example question that can also help you to understand the process with a different value. So I'm going to copy this whole thing, and then I will delete the values, so it will speed up our work. So here all these stuff I'm going to delete from the table. Okay, and now I need to look what is my current number. So okay, so here this. Now in the example number 2, I want to use a smaller number. Say I want to use number 45. Okay, so number 45. So if I have number 45, let's see how it is going to be. So the table is already ready. I have explained you the table already, so I will not go into its detail. Okay, now straightforward we are going to begin from the calculation part, that is Denary minus PV. So here the Denary number given to us is 45. We will minus the PV, which is 128, and here we are going to get the answer in negative 83. So when we got the negative number, we will write here no, and we will write here 0. So in the next step, we are going to use, as I mentioned earlier, the positive number which was received earlier. So now in our case, if we look, we have only one column, and that column has a negative number. So in this case, we have to look back what was the original number, because we don't have any column before this. So original number was 45. So we are going to use this number 45 again. 45 minus 64. So here we are going to get negative 19. So again we got a negative answer, no and 0. So the third column, same story. We do not have a positive number here. We do not have a positive number here. So we will repeat the process with the initial number. 45 minus 32 equals sign. We get here positive 13. So when we get positive number, we are going to write here yes, and the binary will be number 1. So going upward, now next column we are going to use this positive number, because this is the positive number. We don't need to look 45 anymore. So 13 minus 16. When we solve this 13 minus 16, we got negative 3. So when we got a negative number, so we have to write 0. And then when we are moving to the next place value, we are not going to use this negative number. So which is the positive number before? It's 13. So we are going to use this 13. 13 minus 8. Now we got positive 5. When we get positive 5, we write yes, and we write 1. So now we are heading with the positive number in this case. So 5 minus 4 equal to positive 1. Yes and 1. Moving forward, now this positive 1 minus the PV value, which is 2. So we get here negative 1. Now we got negative 1, we write here no, and we write 0. Now the last column with LSB. So we have our positive number, which is this positive 1. So 1 minus 1 is equal to, we get 0, which is a non-negative number. So we will write here yes, and we will write here 1. So our table is completed already. So once our table is completed, now it's the time for us to write the binary number which is obtained from this conversion. So we got here 0 0 1 0 1 1 0 1. So I repeat here number, we got here 0 0 1 0 1 1 0 1 with base 2. Now in this case, you see here, if you start to read from right hand side, from LSB, your number is totally going to be different. So I can just write here as an example 10 11 01 00. You see, both numbers are totally different. So this is not the number that we this is not the way how we should do our conversion. So what is the correct way to read? It's from left to right, but Remember, when we are writing LSB, we are writing from right to left. So these are two opposite things. Okay. And as I mentioned earlier, different methods, they have different way of reading the number and writing the number. So make sure when you are dealing with these type of conversions, you do not commit the mistake and you understand the process very well, that how you are doing and what you are doing exactly. So I hope this video was helpful and you have learned already how to convert a denary number into binary number using subtraction method or place value method. If you have any questions, you are most welcome to write it in the comment section and I will answer them accordingly. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the part 2 of denary to binary conversion video. Till then, take care of yourself. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.